This is one of our no limit 67 to 72 chassis. This is built with air ride technology shockwaves up front. It's got our wide ride IFS. This one's going together with drop spindles and Willwood brakes. Notice that the motor mounts are in place. Rack and pinion is a T-Bird power unit. The sway bars in place. These are the front core support mounts already fabbed into place. And the bumper mounts are lifted and tucked, pulled back. As we head back, you can see there's the front cap mounts. We have a multi-position trans cross member. This is set up for a 700. We bridge the center section back to our rear cross member. Rear cab mounts and all the bed mount towers as we go back. This is a high kick chassis, so when this is laid out, it will put the bottom of the rocker on the ground. Ford 9-inch rear goes with 31 spline axles. This one's getting a track lock and 370 gears. And again, big 13-inch Willwood brakes will be on the end of this. It's our traditional fat bar 4-link in the rear. You come and open over, you see there's shockwave in the rear on adjustable billet shock. Long panhard rod mounted behind the axle with a low mount so it gets good side bite. Very little side movement. On the Pro style chassis like this, we lift the tank so it doesn't hang down in the rear. We put in custom mounts for the air tanks, are all in place. You can notice that some of the air lines, all of them actually, move right into the chassis. They travel inside the chassis through most of the sections, so they're completely protected. We have a single carbureted style fuel line built into this chassis. '67 72s with chassis mount brakes, and they're running our outboard style pedal to give you a little more room around the gas pedal. And we always run hydro boosts, so they'll clear. It runs up off the pressure of the power steering. We run braided stainless flex lines from the master to these bulkhead fittings. All of our chassis come plumbed, and from the bulkhead fittings we go through the valves and up and across the rear suspension, or excuse me, the front suspension. Let me get my end-to-end correct. And again, we use stainless through frame fittings to pass through the frame, then we'll go braided stainless from there out to the caliper. The rear goes through ports in the rail, up and across to the other side. And we run them through a traditional tab off the inside of the frame. This will have a braided stainless flex line that goes under the chassis and outboard to the rear Willwood caliper. That's a overlook of our traditional 67-72 chassis. One more thing I'd like to show you. These are what we call belly trays. These mount on a hinge pivot. I'll show you on the chassis. We have the 3 pivots. There's one there, and one tucked right inside down below. And that belly pan fits from the bottom of the frame rail out to the rocker and gives you a great place to mount all your air ride controls, and it finishes up the bottom of the truck and makes it look nice and clean underneath. That's how we do it here at No Limit. And that's an overview once again of our Pro Style 67-72 chassis.